Good evening. You're watching the late news on HKIBC. I'm Harminder Singh. Here are tonight's top stories. Lawmakers cast doubt on whether Hong Kong can pay for massive Lantau reclamation project. Carrie Lam warns traffic congestion will remain at Cross Harbour tunnels if lawmakers reject toll increase plan. And Health Secretary says complete ban on e-cigarettes is government's final decision. Lawmakers have cast doubt on whether Hong Kong could pay the $500 billion bill for the proposed 1,700-hectare Lantau reclamation project, which was announced by the chief executive in her policy address yesterday. They accused Carrie Lam of pouring money down the drain during a question and answer session at the Legislative Council today. Korean Young reports.
Chief Executive Carrie Lam returned to the Legislative Council this morning to elaborate on her policy address and take questions from lawmakers. Legislators took the opportunity to grill her on the contentious mega reclamation proposal called Lantau Tomorrow Vision. Government sources have revealed that the 1,700-hectare project would cost at least $400 to $500 billion. Some have estimated that the bill could go up to $1 trillion, equal to the city's fiscal reserves. Opponents doubted Hong Kong could pay such a hefty bill. Some accused the chief executive of burning public money.
You talked about 250 initiatives. More than half of them are existing measures. You are slow on making improvements to our livelihood, but then you are going to spend a lot of money. You are going to pour $1 trillion down the drain.
The so-called Lantau Tomorrow Vision will spell trouble because we will not be able to pay up. So many options are available to you, but you have opted for this plan. So what is your objective?
But Lam was defiant and accused lawmakers of scaring people. She told legislators the government was not planning to pay the entire sum for the mega project at once.
If you talk about $500 billion or $1 trillion, you have to spread it across more than a decade's time. Now, in fact, every year we spend over $100 billion on approved public works projects. And then once they're finished, they will be succeeded by another batch of public works projects.
She also lamented the demonization of reclamation. Lam said the city had relied on the construction of man-made land for development and cited the Hong Kong Airport Core program from the 1980s as an example. The Lantau mega project was one of the proposals in the public consultation of the Task Force on Land Supply. But the plan that was proposed, known as the East Lantau Metropolis, stated it would create 1,000 hectares of land. The Lantau Tomorrow Vision project adds an additional 700 hectares. When asked about the 70% increase in the project size on a radio program this morning, Lam said the decision was based on plans by technical staff. She added that she could not remember when she was advised about the change. Korean Young, HKIBC.
Carrie Lam has said that if lawmakers rejected the government's proposal to adjust tolls at the city's 3 Cross Harbour tunnels, traffic congestion would continue. But lawmakers from both camps were skeptical of the plan, saying it would have little effect on congestion. Riley Chan reports.
Chief Executive Carrie Lam revealed yesterday that the government was finally planning to tackle traffic congestion at the Eastern Harbour Tunnel and chronic jams at the Cross Harbour Tunnel. During her policy address, Lam said the government would present a bill to the Legislative Council to raise fees on 3 vehicle categories. Private car tolls at both tunnels will be raised to $40, while fees for motorcycles will be increased to $16. Tolls for taxis will also be adjusted. As for the most costly crossing, the Western Harbour Tunnel will have tolls adjusted downward. Private car owners will have to pay $50 instead of $70, while motorcyclists will be charged $20 instead of $25. Speaking on a radio program this morning, Lam said the government has done everything it could to even out the traffic flow between the 3 tunnels. She said if the Legislative Council rejected the plan, the traffic congestion would only persist. But lawmakers across the spectrum